Now, a man who was told that he would spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair has walked again thanks to new research by scientists in Switzerland. The 30-year-old, who was left paralysed after a martial arts accident, has had an implant attached to his spine which boosts the signal from his brain to his legs. And against expectations, some of his damaged nerves seem to have regrown. The researchers hope to test the system in the UK and other parts of the world within 3 years, as our science correspondent Pallab Ghosh explains now.
David's doctor said he'd never walk again. Now, among the foothills of the Alps, he's able to travel more than half a mile. An implant around his spine has changed his life.
To me, it means a lot. I think you've got to try to do the impossible, to make the possible possible. I'm surprised over and over again when we really get there, and it's a lot of fun and it feels very good.
This is David training with his implant a year ago. Stim on means it's turned on. When it's turned off, he can't move. Back on, and he continues to walk. Nerves in the spinal cord send signals from the brain to the legs. Some people are paralysed when they're damaged through injury. In most cases, there's still a small signal, but it's too weak to create movement. The implant boosts the signal, enabling David to walk. Not only that, the restored movement seems to repair some of the damaged nerves. And here's the result. David walks 8 paces with the implant turned off.
What was very unexpected was the spinal cord repair that we have observed. And we need to understand the underlying mechanism. What we have observed in animal models is that it seems that nerve fibers are growing again, so that they are reconnected the brain to the spinal cord.
David had his implant surgically inserted by one of Switzerland's leading neurosurgeons. A chronic case, he was paralysed 7 years ago after a sporting accident.
I've been working in the neuroscience now for a long time, and I know that when you have a spinal cord injury, after a while, if there is no progress, it will remain like this. And so what I noticed for the first time is a change, even in a chronic state. And that's, for me, something completely new.
Outside of the lab in the real world, it's much harder for David. Without his electrical stimulation, he can only walk a few paces, so it's far away from being a cure. But the research does demonstrate that paralysis can be reversed, at least to some degree. The big question is by how much? Sebastian had a cycling accident. Before he came to work with the Swiss team, he had no movement in his legs. But now he can ride his bike, which is powered mostly by his hand movements, but also by his legs.
Such a feeling of freedom. Everything is working together, and that helps you to be healthy for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, and the rest of your life.
Stim on.
Okay, start message sent to implant.
David and Sebastian are the first patients to have benefited from the treatment. They can't keep the stimulation on all the time because it's too uncomfortable for long periods, and the system isn't ready yet for everyday use. Researchers say in the journal Nature they hope to improve the system, and it could be tested in the UK and other parts of the world in 3 years' time. Pallab Ghosh, BBC News, Lausanne.